New tonight, it's been nearly a year since George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis. His death sparked international protests and forced a national reckoning on race in America. Several major companies announced plans for reform in their own policies.
Some of those plans included more diverse and inclusive work environments, partnerships with Black-owned businesses, and donating money to organizations that fight for racial and social justice.
Joining us more to talk about the corporate response to social justice reform is Ramses Jean-Louis. He is the Global Chief of Diversity, of Equity and Inclusion at Verizon Media, and he's also an attorney and HR labor relations professional. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me, Rudabeh.
So what motivated companies like Verizon to act on social justice reform in the wake of George Floyd's death, and what specific steps have been taken?
Thank you for that question. So diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been something that we've really valued, and it's always been something that we've worked on at Verizon and at Verizon Media. We've built a strategy on diversity, equity, and inclusion based on 5 pillars. Our governance model: at the end of the day, you can't improve what you don't measure. Workforce: how do we make our workforce more reflective of the communities that we serve? Supplier diversity: it's important for us to spend money in the community, so we're proud to say that we're part of the $1 billion roundtable. We spent over $1 billion with minority-owned firms and women-owned vendors. Corporate social responsibility is important. Where we show up from a philanthropic standpoint has a lot to communicate with what we value as an organization. And then our products as well. Our products have to be inclusive. So we've always believed in diversity, equity, inclusion, but especially in light of the tragedies that we witnessed, the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. It was important for us to build out our racial justice strategy to really help bring about some of the change that we'd like to see within our organization as well as in our society overall.
So pre-George Floyd, where did corporate America as a whole stand in your experience?
From my experience, I think corporate America really did believe in diversity, equity, inclusion, but the question was, how do we get there? One of the things that we learned last year was that there are systemic issues that exist in the justice system, in the education system, in the healthcare system. And of course, corporate America is no exception. So what are the ways that we can improve all of our processes to really ensure that we have an inclusive environment where everyone have an opportunity to thrive?
And what has been the response? You talk about these 5 pillars. What's been the response both within the company and externally?
So the response has been very good, actually. Our strategy for racial justice has been built on the model of empathy, advocacy, and action. Empathy is important because obviously we've been missing each other. We haven't been having those conversations to really connect. When I speak to a lot of our employees, when we learned about the systemic issues and what was taking place with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, a lot of our employees was like they had no idea that this was going on. Yet another group of my employees were also sharing the fact that they were surprised that people didn't know that this was going on because there's books about it, there's songs written, there's articles about it. So we started having a series of courageous, safe space conversations in our organization so that this way we can actually start to share. And those were powerful conversations to begin the healing process, filled with a lot of tears and sharing of vulnerability. And those conversations were successful because they took place across difference and across all levels of our organization. We had our chief executive officer sit down with our employees and talk about what does it mean to be a Black person in America? What does it mean to be Latinx? What does it mean to experience Asian hate that's taking place? So those conversations were important. The third pillar, the advocacy piece, have been important as well because we know the change that we want to see in society. And there are some organizations out there doing some outstanding work in the space. How do we partner with those organizations to really ensure that we can lean in and continue to put pressure and make sure that those changes take place? So we gave over $15 million donation to organizations like the National Urban League, the NAACP, the Action Network, organizations to fight against Asian hate as well.
So again, amazing first steps at Verizon. More broadly in corporate America, even with small businesses, what still needs to be done? There's a long way to go, right?
Sure. So one of the things that we're doing is we believe in having those courageous conversations, but we believe in backing it up with action. So one of the things that we've done, one of the major steps that we're very proud of, is that we've actually shared our diversity data report publicly, and we believe everything really starts with the data. Take a look at where we're at as an organization, and what are the things that we can do to drive a greater degree of inclusion across our organization. And we've been taking the necessary steps to actually make that happen. So we're seeing progress. However, there's still a tremendous amount of work to be done. So what needs to take place in corporate America is for all organizations to kind of borrow on a similar model in terms of having the courageous conversations, but backing up those conversations with actions. Not only should you be taking a look at outwardly in terms of how can we influence larger society, but organizations need to take a look within their organization to see what can we do for all of our talent, but what are we doing for our diverse talent to attract more diverse talent to the organization? But what are we doing for all of that great diverse talent we have at the organization right now? So taking a look and building a strategy and executing against that strategy is important.
Ramses Jean-Louis, thank you very much for being here. It's fascinating to hear what's going on behind the scenes. We appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me. Have a great evening.